Good morning. It's Sunday morning, the 9th, and Richie's working today. She's going in at 2 o'clock, so I made breakfast in bed, which I've just done, and now I'm just busy going over my correspondence here. So I thought I'd send a quick video out to everybody to say hello while we're going about things. You can see it's already 25 past 10. So we are in the groove, as it is, in the groove. Please excuse me while I get on with this at the minute. Well, actually, no, I can leave it for now till I finish. Yeah, so we've had a interesting week. Things have gone very much as expected with regards to the coronavirus. Those of you who thought it would be over in a few weeks and then a few months, and have now come to realise that we're in this for long-term haul, and if we're lucky we should be through it by the end of next year, 2021. And I'm hoping so, but you know, we've got a long way to go. It's an unfortunate time for it to come, really, for all of us. People going to university, people starting school, people wishing to move house, people wishing to move country. It's put a lot of obstacles in our way to try and do anything, and we've just got to have to get on and do it, get on and bear it, and just make adjustments as we progress. I think the actual coming to terms, living with the virus, are what's got to happen possibly as we go through winter now more than anything else. And there's a lot of debate at the moment with the unions, the teachers' unions, and the government on school starting next month here in the UK. And obviously people are all basically saying that schools should open regardless, and even if pubs have to close again. There is the fact the measurements on the virus are going up again, which is expected. Possibly not as soon as they are. I think I've said before, you know, we possibly were thinking this was possibly going to start going up again more as we got into the winter months, but it's going now, which means the change in lifestyle, the pub lifestyle, restaurant lifestyle, is where it is. It's more people mixing with each other. Basically, that's what it boils down to. So that is obviously going to increase, and as we get into the colder months, obviously with more and more inside mixing with each other, it's just going to continue to manifest and grow. The seeds are already planted in the country for the virus, so until a definite antidote is established for killing off the virus, it's always going to be there. So the medicines to treat people with the virus are key, as is the antidote. How does one carry on regardless? Well, one has to make those adjustments. One has to look at life very carefully and look at the risk factors whenever you go out and about and do things. You know, obviously looking at moderate risk is the key. Going to the major establishments for food purchasing, going to major things for medicines and health checks and all these sort of things, you take a certain amount of risk, and you do. And when you do that, of course you do. Going on holiday, of course, it's a risk. You go on holiday, you're taking a risk because you are going to come into contact with other people, and you're going out of your own safe zone of your home, which you presumably keep under your control of cleanliness and control of controlling who comes in and who goes out. So you don't have to worry too much about that. What's some people, as with every type of issue, there are always people who live in denial. And we have in our country, as I'm sure there are in every other country, people who live in denial to the fact that the virus is really out there, or it's going to be a problem in their lives. So they just go about their normal life, as it were. And there are always those are the sort of idiots that are out there. The problem with this particular virus, or this particular issue where that people are in denial, is the fact that they affect everybody. So people who don't want to believe in what this can do to the population as a whole are making it bad for everybody. We're in a co-op yesterday, Richie and I, standing in the queue, wearing our masks, and there were some people up front who just weren't wearing masks. Blatantly just there not wearing masks. And an old man behind us, he actually had to point out to me, look at those idiots up in front who are not wearing masks. And yeah, unfortunately there are idiots everywhere. And it's the idiots, the fools, the people who think they know better, who make it difficult for everybody, I'm afraid. And that's where we are. Being a free society, being a society where freedom is something we've earned our rights for in the UK, people can do what they want, unfortunately. The government have difficulty in being like China or like Korea, where they can just stamp down on people's rights just like that and lock people up if they don't wear a mask. You know, we're not going to do things like that, or we aren't at the moment. Therefore, we have to live with the consequences of being a society where there are many idiots who roam around the streets, who have no care for other people. And that's the life we lead. You know, so we live in it, and that's unfortunate. As much as nobody likes wearing masks, of course they don't. Nobody likes having to put a mask on every time you go in a shop, of course they don't. But if that's what we have to do to protect society, that's what we have to do. So these absolute fools, idiots, who just don't do that, I'm just ashamed, you know, as a British citizen, to be sort of have them as fellow citizens alongside me. I think they're just absolute arseholes. Absolute arseholes. And I'll say that to anybody who even on my Facebook, quite honestly, if they refuse to wear a mask, you know, you're an arsehole. That's all I can say. And yeah, I see it. I see it in my own community, and I see it on the news, and I see it everywhere. It's we're protecting lives. We're protecting the NHS. We're protecting lives. We're protecting the elderly. We're protecting everybody, and therefore we should be respecting it as well. We'll beat this thing. We'll get there. We can't rush. We have to take our time. We have to let it happen. So 2021, towards the end of, I would think, is going to be a realistic time frame of getting those medicinal factors in place that are going to be the security for the human race to come out of its shell, as it were, and do what it wants to do going forward again. It's an eye-opener, this. It's been a wake-up call for many throughout the world. You know, the Americans have definitely woken up to it now. We have, for sure. And I think many countries are as well. Many countries are still trying to get the spike right. If I look at India, I look at Brazil, look at many countries in the Middle East and Far East, even in Africa, in South Africa, I mean, they are still establishing the curve as to when they're going to turn it and come down the other side, the slope on the other side. going through the first wave, as it were. It's a long road. Don't think you're going to beat this in a couple of weeks. It's not a couple of weeks or a couple of months even. It's a long road. And as soon as everyone understands that. So the long road doesn't mean you ban alcohol for 2 years. That's good. You've got to look at more sensible approaches to how you manage this pandemic than that. And we'll get there. We'll get there. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.